Okay, so we should be live. So I'll just be waiting for people to come in here. All right, so this actually did not work out the way I wanted it to. Did not work out. Come on in, guys. Give me just a few seconds here. You are on the correct page. It's just this is for the sublimation settings. Since I did help one crafting mama out setting those up, she just had me just do the class myself. So we're gonna give folks a few more minutes to come in because setting sublimation settings is not my streams ever come on. I kind of want to hope for something to have a little glitch or something. Last thing I want to have happen to you is that when I do a stream, everything works just fine. So this class will not be long. The settings are not very long, so I kind of want to give people a chance to get in here. I know the title is talking about setting it up for Mac. It's very similar to PC. Of course, there'll be a few things that look different. So what we'll do is I'll go ahead and set this up on the Mac first. Then we'll end the stream, and then I'll start another one for my Surface Pro to show how to do it on PC. But everything is pretty much generally the same. It's just it might be in different locations. I'm freezing. Is it freezing or is it stuttering? Hello. Okay. I'm just checking the stream delay right now, looking to see what's going on here. All right, give me 2 seconds, guys. All right. I'm going to give everybody about 5 minutes or so to get in here. All right, so the first thing before anything else gets done when we go playing with the settings or anything along the lines of that, you have to download your latest drivers for your printer. I know Steph, she has the Epson, the ET2720. The settings should be basically changing the settings should be the same for almost all sublimation printers. So don't worry if you've got a different model number or any type of, if not necessarily an Epson case. It's just a lot easier to follow along if you have the same model. If not, same deal. We'll just we'll tell you what to look for, and then you can go from there based on what your printer settings are going to show. So the first thing that we're going to do is For those of us who are on a Mac, you'll go up to the Apple and go to System Preferences. Come down here to your printers and scanners. And then the first thing you want to do after you get your drivers downloaded is name your printers. Like for any printer that actually has a scan function as well, what'll happen is you'll see two. Like the default name for this printer, it was Epson ET2720 Series 1. Or then the other one may be Epson ET2720 Series 2. Typically, if you look up top here, it says, when I clicked on this one, it says Sublimation Printer. How it just has Sublimation Printer along the top here is what it's showing. What you actually want to do is find whichever one that allows the print and scan function if you do have a scan, because there's a bit more options there. And that's why I had this labeled as Actual Sublimation Printer. So I know that when you go to print, you know that this is the actual one that you would use for your sublimation printing. So from here, you'll click on Options and Supplies. And this is why I renamed it. So I'm not going to rename it now, but you'll just type it and name it for something that you'll know that this is the printer that you'll be using to print. And then we'll click on Options here. And everything, mostly everything you see here will be off, except high speed printing is on by default. Go ahead and actually turn that off. What that'll do for you is that will slow the printing down, and that will allow you to get a lot better quality print. The warning notifications you can leave on, and then the established bidirectional communication, the default should be on. It should already be on as well too. This also gives you the option to check your supply levels, and then the utility for cleaning the print heads, anything like that. So generally, if you do a lot of printing, after a while, if you start seeing like bleeding or anything along that lines, go ahead and clean your printer heads every now and again, just to make sure that your prints are coming out accurate. All right, give me just a second. I'm trying to make sure I don't have anybody who's lost right now. Let's pull it up here. Who have HP? What I would do is I will end the stream once we do it with PC or with the Mac, and I will log on to anybody who has PC, so HPs, Lenovo's, anything of those lines, any Windows operating systems. I will come and do this as well too. Celeste, this is how to set up your printer for sublimation settings, so that way you can get a lot better quality prints for any of your sublimation printing needs. Let me see here. All right, and my TikTok just froze. All right, yep, no problem. One Crafter Mama will also upload this to her YouTube page as well. So if you happen to miss out on this, don't sweat too bad. It'll also be up on the YouTube page as well. And the link for the YouTube page is going to be in her profile. All right, so now that we had the high-speed settings turned off in the printer preferences, you'll open up a program. It could be Photoshop, Adobe. If some of you use Silhouette Studio is fine, but we just want to get a program open to where we can set up a printing to be able to change the settings. So here I just have Adobe Acrobat. I just pulled, I want to say this is the print, the design for the scanning in order to shop when she ships products off. So what we want to do is you'll select the printer, and whichever printer you set up as for your actual sublimation printer. And then what we'll do is we'll go down here. Now each program is different. Some it'll say printer, some it'll say print settings, but what you're looking for.
Use Pages is easier. Adobe Acrobat. I don't like using it. I don't use it to print Sublimation.
Okay.
I use Pages.
All right.
Because that, you have to do separate printer settings. Hey, everybody! You got to do separate printer settings
All right.
with Adobe Acrobat that I haven't finalized yet. So use Pages.
I have.
Well, I haven't.
Okay.
So I don't need to
Cool.
change my stuff on my laptop, sir. Do it the way I do it, or get off. I said what I said. I'm the boss.
All right. So let's open up Pages. Let's see here. All right. So we'll just pull up logo here. And this would be good anyway, because like I said, once again, we can set up the settings. All right, so you'll have your document or your image, whatever's pulled up. You'll set to print. And then here where it says Pages, and this would be similar on the Adobe as well too, but you're looking for Pages, and you'll go to print settings. And once you get here to your print settings, you'll come down to media type. You're going to change your media type to premium presentation paper matte. All right, that's the only one that you need. Default is probably like plain paper, bright white paper. Never use any of the glossy. Premium presentation paper matte. A-sub paper is classified as premium paper, so that's what we're working with. That's what you want to set this up for. The print quality, this is high quality. Some of you may have a different setting that is higher than that, so whichever highest quality setting that you're able to use, that's what you use it for. Now, since this again is for sublimation, you will check mark the mirror image here to make sure that's on. Now be careful with this because you have to remember that you actually have already set your printer to mirror the image. So don't try to mirror the image in the program as well, or all it's going to do is just undo it when you print it. Now this is the print settings. This is nice and easy. Just making sure we don't have any more comments going. Nope. All right, and then we will click back on that bar again, and we will go to color matching. Okay, once we're in color matching, you see Epson color controls, or you can do color sync here. The profile is automatic. Now the profile, it'll be different depending on what you use. If you, I want to say Cosmo Ink, and there are some other sublimation ink companies that they actually provide their own color profiles for their ink. So when you purchase whatever sublimation ink that you use, double check the website and make sure that they don't already have profiles for you to download and set up on your printer. For the particular sublimation ink that One Crafted Mama uses, it doesn't have a particular profile. If yours do, it's probably, you can probably find a YouTube video on how to download that profile and set it up on your computer. Let's see here. Okay, we're good. I was just seeing some things here. All right, and so we'll click on the profile. If you don't have a specific profile set up from whatever sublimation ink company you use, you will use Adobe RGB. Now I have this already preset, but if you click on other profiles, it will pull up all these other ones and you can find it from there. In this case, there's Adobe RGB. You will click OK. And then you will go to print. So that's the last thing that you would need to do here. Okay. So you'll hit print, and then I'm going to cancel this one because I don't need it. Because Lord forbid, I don't want to waste no sublimation ink and paper. That will be my head. And then that's how you would print that. Now let's say you want to go back and do it again. You can go here to presets, and you can go to last use settings. And then once you make sure that everything was exactly the same how we set it up before, you can actually go and click save current settings as a preset. In this case, we already have it as sublimation, but this is how you would save your settings, so that way you can come back quickly to say maybe you print it with something else, you're using a different type of printer or anything like that. So that way you can just go back and click the sublimation profile, and it will pull everything up how it's supposed to be. Yep. Only thing is to come back to the color sync and always select whatever it is there. Okay. And that is it for setting up those printer settings on the Mac. It's going to be similar for the Windows. I still would do it as well because I know that's kind of how I am too. I have a Windows, so I want to see Windows. But I will pause for a few seconds here. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I know that was kind of it was real quick and easy. I don't know if anyone's following along on their settings or anything like that. So I'll just hold on for a few minutes here. I'll be setting up the the windows, and so that we can show how to go through that as well too. All right, I don't see any comments going. So no comments, no questions. That way I can go ahead and just end this. And like I did say earlier, this will be on One Crafting Mama's YouTube page. If you already aren't subscribed, if you go to TikTok profile, the link to the page will be on there. All right, so I'm going to end this broadcast. Guys, just give me a few minutes here to get set up on the Windows, and then you will see me back live again, and then I will show how to go through this for those of you guys who have Windows PCs. You're welcome, Sheila. All right, I will be back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello again, Crafting Sisters. This is the hubby takeover part. I say part 2, but the redo of the sublimation settings. A couple of days ago, I want to say, was it Tuesday? We went live on TikTok for how to set up your printer for sublimation settings on the MacBook. We were also supposed to do the PC, but I was having issues out of Windows, not PC, Windows, same thing. I was having issues being able to broadcast live from the Windows computer. So I decided to do is just to go ahead and record it locally. That way you guys will have access to this as well too. Same deal for Windows as it was for Mac. You need to make sure that your printer has its latest drivers downloaded and installed. No matter what you do, no matter what printer you have, always make sure those are up to date. A lot of times, issues come from not having updated drivers before there's any other thing going on with it. Okay, so you can do your search bar or however you have it if you're running Windows 11 or Windows 10, whatever it may be. Just go to your system settings to find your printers and scanners. Okay, now I don't have it named here because I said we hardly use this Windows laptop anymore. But for me, the Sublimation printer is going to be the ET2720 series network. Once again, whatever your printer is, I just recommend naming it so that way you know which one to actually use for your sublimation printing. Okay, we're going to go down here to printer preferences. And I am actually, let me see if it allows me to blow this up a little bit. No, it does not. It doesn't allow me to make it bigger. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about it. That way, if you can't fully see the options, it should sync up with what I'm talking about so that way you listen to. Here we have presets for normal designs, mirrored, not mirrored. Only reason you wouldn't want your design mirrored is if you're putting it on like glass. Actually, I think glass is the only reason that you wouldn't want it mirrored. Okay. There's a little bit of different settings for peoples and faces. It's just the color is a little bit different. But the YouTube video, I'm sorry, excuse me, the YouTube, yes, the YouTube video where we got these settings, how to set these settings up from, will be provided in the description. So if you want a more detailed um, explanation of why these are set up the way these are set up, you can go there. But for everybody who just wants quick sublimation settings, we're going to go ahead and go forward with this. Okay. So here we've got your main settings, which is what pulls up in the printer preferences. Okay, document size, you can leave it at whatever. Right now it's at 8.5 or 11. Just pay attention to it. You'll adjust it to whatever size you're printing on. Most of the designs are printed landscape anyway. Uh, Paper type, you'll go to either presentation paper mat or premium presentation paper mat if you have it. Not all printers come with this setting, so as long as it has at least presentation paper mat, you can go with that. But if premium is available, definitely use that one instead. Quality, it's always going to be the highest quality you can have. In this case, it's high on this printer here. Two-sided printing, of course, is off. Multi-page is off. You mainly won't be using the collate or the reverse order settings because these are like usually you're just printing off one design. Okay, so that is it for the main print presets. So what we're going to do is click on this tab here. It says more options. And in the more options, we're going to come down here to this color correction. Okay, you'll hit custom on the color correction button here, little radio button here. And then we're going to go to advanced. In advanced, you make sure the color controls is selected here. And then change your color mode to Adobe RGB. I know Epson has their own version, but Adobe RGB is just one of those universal ones. But like I said earlier in the Mac settings, if you have whatever company you bought your sublimation ink from, if they have their own color profile, then definitely go ahead and use that because they know what's going to work best for their ink. All right. So color adjustment, just leave it alone as a color circle. You hardly won't play with these unless you need to go back and do some tweaking. And I'm certain that there are some YouTube videos for you to look up how to do that. Okay. So hit OK here once we've got Adobe RGB selected. Then you're going to come down here to your additional settings. You want high speed off. Okay. Just allows a better quality print if the printer is not trying to hurry up and print the page out. Mirror image, for those of you who automatically want it mirrored and you don't want to do it in the program, you can just set it in the print settings and then just forget about it. Like I said, for those, that's why I have a profile for not mirrored. So like for when you're putting it on like glass, cutting boards, or any other type of image that's any other type of material that's going to be automatically mirrored, then you don't have to select it. And then to save the preset, you just click it here. And once you type in the name, you'll close out on it and then you'll see it popped up here. I changed the color so that way I just know which design it is, but that's it. Just about as easy as the other settings was. And then you just click OK on whichever preset that you wanted to change. And then you're done. Okay. And it's just like that. Just nice, simple, and easy. If you have any other questions, hit One Crafting Mama up on TikTok, or this will also be uploaded on YouTube as well. You can leave some YouTube comments. Try to timestamp if you have a specific question. Try to timestamp where it's at, so that way she'll be able to pinpoint where it is that you need help or what you're exactly talking about in your question. All right, crafting sisters, that is it for our sublimation settings, both for Windows and the Mac. If anything else you need, just let One Crafting Mama know. You guys are real good about letting her know what it is that you guys are wanting help on or learning what to do. I won't be on here often. I just mainly handle the tech side of things, and she handles all the crafting. So just let her know what we need, and you guys have a great day. Go forth and craft.